It's time for HawgSports Live from HawgSports.com, a division of 24/7 Sports, presented by Crane Automotive. The Crane Team's got 'em. Visit them online at craneteam.com. And now with the latest breaking updates on HawgSports, here's Trey Biddy.
What's up, everybody? Trey Biddy with HawgSports, HawgSports.com. I'm not in the best mood. I haven't been in a good mood since Arkansas lost that game to Auburn, a game that they absolutely could have won and maybe they should have won. And it took me till this morning to go back and rewatch the game. And, man, just the way the last 9.5 minutes unfolded, like, I don't know, you're up 5 and then 4 turnovers. We'll talk about the game a little bit. We're going to go back and we're going to, I guess we're not going back. We're looking ahead. We're going to look at Mississippi State. We'll talk a little bit about the basketball game coming up tonight with Connor Goodson, and Danny West will be joining with us as well. All that and more on today's episode of Hog Sports Live. Hooray. Well, I'd like to tell you about our friends over at the Crane Team. The Crane Automotive Team has 16 locations across our state and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team Service Centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Visit them at craneteam.com. Hog Sports Live is driven by the Crane Automotive Team.
You've done it. Now you're the Crane Cash Champ. You just won big with the Crane Team. Go ahead, soak it up. How could you not feel like a winner? You dominated with our low price guarantee, and you got way more for your trade. Plus, with statewide delivery on thousands of vehicles from 16 locations, and the fact that we'll beat any other dealer's price, we make our Kansans feel like champions every day. That's winning. That's the Crane Team. Visit craneteam.com.
Yeah, if you want to feel like a winner and you're a Razorback fan, about the only thing that you can do is shop at Crane Team, apparently. 5,980 vehicles last time I looked over there. Check out our friends over at Crane Automotive, 16 locations in Arkansas. Well, I don't know. There was a chance for things to kind of work out a certain way, I guess, with Bobby Petrino, but like it feels like a major it was an uphill battle anyway, but it really feels like it's more of an uphill climb. And just the way the thing ended, man, you felt like they were in control of the game, and then Auburn just keeps chipping away, and interception. One of the interceptions that he threw, I can't remember if it was the first or the second or the third. One of the interceptions he threw, he had C.J. Brown just crossing wide open over the middle and tried to force it to Omega Blake, which we've seen too often from Talon. He's been great sometimes, man. People have said stuff like, you think KJ Jackson maybe should be an option. But, I mean, the guy leads the country in total offense. Or he did last I looked. It may have come down after the last game. But certainly a really disappointing finish to that game. I'm frustrated. Like, I've been frustrated, obviously, for a while. But, man, it just – and, then now, like, the LSU job opening up, and it's just like, where's Arkansas in the pecking order now? It feels like it would have been even more beneficial if things work out for Bobby Petrino. Not like it can't. I mean, he can beat Mississippi State. That's a beatable team. They can't play the way they did against Auburn and beat them, but they can beat Mississippi State, who is in familiar territory. I want to talk about the coaching search stuff. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff here in a second, but Brandon Huffman at 24/7 Sports just recently – 18 hours ago, ranked all of the FBS jobs right now by recruiting potential. But I think this is not far off overall also. LSU is the best job in the country. LSU is Arkansas, but with access to elite talent. They're the only show in town in terms of Power 4 conference teams. Obviously, they've got pro teams and stuff there. But as far as college football, I mean, there's a lot of reasons LSU is successful, and a lot of it just has to do with their access to talent. Per capita, that state produces more NFL talent than any other state in the country. Florida Gators at number 2. I think this is more argumentative, whether it's Florida or Penn State. I do think Florida is ahead of them in terms of potential. Obviously, we've seen Florida win national championships recently, 2 under Meyer, 1 under Steve Spurrier. Passionate fan base in the SEC, in a hotbed of talent. Penn State is number 3. I think that's a fair spot for them. There are other jobs that could come open, obviously. I mean, Arkansas could have fired Hugh Freeze on Saturday if they'd beaten Auburn. They could have gotten him fired. There's talk about Lane Kiffin in the different job openings. Lane Kiffin at Florida, Lane Kiffin at LSU. Then the Ole Miss job opens. Eli Drinkwitz's been talked about with other jobs. Who will get mad at me for saying that he might be, interested in another job. Like we're not supposed to talk about stuff. But right now, Arkansas is probably number 4. UCLA is 5. According to this, Oklahoma State is 6. I actually think Virginia Tech, who they have at 7. I think, and again, this is based on recruiting, I think Virginia Tech's a better job than either of those, than Oklahoma State or UCLA. Stanford is 8 with the right guy. That can be a good job. And then you got, your Colorado State, your Oregon State, UAB, Kent State, so on and so forth. But Arkansas is still a quality job. It just, you don't know what kind of dominoes fall. And it sounds like, from what I hear, there is going to be money in place. I don't know. I'm so down right now on Arkansas football. I just expect the worst. I just expect, I don't know. And it's impossible to please people now. Like, you don't want some young and up-and-coming coach because he hadn't done anything yet. And you don't want a sitting Power 4 coach because he doesn't win every game he plays in. It seems like, a guy loses a game and they're just like, well, I don't know, he lost, And, Rhett Lashley, their last game, their offense didn't produce. He's been a guy that people have talked about a lot, but would they lose 16-12 or something? Like, I don't know. Like, and there's, last week there's rumors about PJ Fleck, and he's done all he can do at Minnesota, and, Drake Lindsey's on the team. They would come to Arkansas as a package deal. That's just a rumor that's floated. To everything I've found, there's no contact in that regard. But I'm just saying. And then, how interested are you in PJ Fleck? Even though he's a good coach and won 11 games at Minnesota, which nobody does, nobody's ever done, had back-to-back 9-win seasons. But it's all about what you did lately. We've used kind of the Jamie Chadwell example as a guy that everybody wanted. Everybody talked about it. Yeah, I get real excited about Jamie Chadwell. Where does Arkansas stand in the pecking order, for Jamie Chadwell? They're not going to get him, all this kind of stuff. That used to be the talk. And I don't know what Liberty did last weekend, but they were 3-4 last to look at them, which, you've got to have like this great season. I don't know. It's difficult. To me, it's going to be difficult for Arkansas to both like win that press conference that gets everybody hyped up and gets everybody to support and give money for NIL and all that stuff, to win that press conference, and also get a guy who is, a good coach. Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's a balance. Like, you can go out and try to win that press conference, but you might not end up with a guy who's the right fit for Arkansas. Or, I don't know. Like, who's the guy out there that, like, who do you want? I want to know who everybody wants out there. Like, who is your realistic choice? Let's look at Auburn real quick. Auburn and Arkansas. Taylor Green was 14 of 22, 268, a touchdown and 3 picks. They also had that fumble. I mean, again, this game is 24-19, well into the fourth quarter. And pick 6, and then what you give up, and then you fumble the ball, and it's a field goal, interception, field goal, interception, game's over. I mean, just a terrible way to end the game. Is that how it ended? Yeah. So it was, in the fourth quarter, Auburn kicked a field goal to make it 24-19. It was, in the third quarter, late in the third quarter, 24-16. Arkansas kicked a field goal with how much to play? 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Almost in the fourth quarter here. And, well, hell, you were in the fourth quarter. I mean, yeah, they didn't score until 12:03 was left. So 12:04, it's 16-24. Interception, it's a pick six. Then Arkansas fumbles. And then they go up 30-24. Interception, another field goal, the fifth field goal of the game, sixth field goal of the game. They go up 33-24. That's frustrating. I'd resound to the fact that, like, Arkansas football is going to be what it is this season, but, like, when you expect to win a game and you feel like you should win a game and it just unravels like that at the end. So Mississippi State, speaking of unraveling, they've lost four straight. They lost 41-34 in overtime to Tennessee, 31-9 to Texas A&M, 23-21 at Florida. And then Florida fires their coach after beating you. And then Texas, number 22 Texas, they just lost 45-38 in overtime. And I don't know if you guys have watched that game or seen how that game unraveled, but holy hell, it is 31-14 in the fourth quarter at one point. And then it's 38-21. And then it's 38-28. I mean, we're talking like late in this game. This is so late. This all unraveled so late. 12:29, starting about 12:29 mark of the fourth quarter. Texas starts chipping away. Mississippi State scored a touchdown, and then it's Texas with a touchdown. This is actually, Texas 9:34. This is a 9:34 mark, so similar time periods for Arkansas. And Texas makes it 38-28. Mississippi State punt. Texas makes it 38-31. And it wasn't like quick. It was a 12-play, 53-yard drive. Mississippi State punt. Texas takes over. And then Texas wins in overtime. Mississippi State fumbled the ball. 4 plays minus 41 yards for Mississippi State on that last drive. That's a gut wrencher. So you got two teams that feel like they got their hearts ripped out who haven't been very good. Neither have won an SEC game, and that's what we're getting in Fayetteville this weekend. It's a 3 o'clock game. It's not a bad time slot at all. 2 high-powered offenses. Mississippi State can still put up yards on offense. 381 yards for Shapen in the last game. 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. You think your quarterback goes for 381, 4 touchdowns, and no interception, you think you're going to win the game, right? But he was sacked 7 times. 7 times. He had 15 carries for 39 yards. That includes the sack yardage. I want to play a clip of Bobby Petrino. This is what he had to say about it today. He was not happy either, which, shouldn't be.
Was that part of you mentioned limiting explosive plays. Was that part of the game plan coming into this week? Like, let's try and maybe a bend, don't break approach in some ways?
Yeah, not so much bend, don't break, because I don't like to bend. You'd like to just shut them down 3 and out and go. But, I do think that we did a real good job. Now, Auburn was patient. They ran the ball. They kept us off the field, and they ran the football and were patient with it and, made it a fourth quarter game, and that's where we didn't get it done. Offensively is, watching the video is very upsetting to me. We did not play offensive football the way we need to play, the way we have played, the way we've showed we can play, starting with the offensive line, which, I've been given a lot of credit to, bragging a lot about, feeling good about, but we didn't execute it all up front like we need to in the run game and protection. Talon did not play a good game. He didn't execute the way he's been executing. Missed some reads, missed some wide open guys. It was just a situation where it's very disturbing to me that that's what we got out of the offense. And then special teams, we get a great big boost before halftime with a pick 6, and we come out and give up a huge kickoff return, and then the next thing is a blocked punt and give them great field position, and that had a huge impact in the game. So we've got to get all 3 phases to work together to get a win.
Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is proud to be the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. And while I would encourage you to visit their store in person because they're about to have all the Christmas decor up and stuff, they don't have it up yet, but they will. It's just an incredible new location, 3202 Pinnacle Hills Parkway in Rogers, Arkansas, 72758. You've got to go check out this place if you're up in the area. It's worth making a trip for. But did you also know that you can do your holiday shopping on their website with delivery at blakemansfinejewelry.com? You can also book an appointment there. Built on tradition since 1987, Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry and personalized service. Be sure to visit them at that brand new location, or again, that is Pinnacle 3202 Pinnacle Hills Parkway, Rogers, Arkansas 72758. But also visit them online at blakemansjewelry.com, and you can do all your holiday shopping online. Well, they got more than jewelry on there. You'd be surprised at some of the stuff they have on there. A lot of cool stuff. Okay. Looking at Mississippi State quickly here, 32.6 points per game. They rank 9th in the SEC. Arkansas is currently 5th in the SEC at 35.5 points per game. Mississippi State total offense, 410.8. That ranks 8th in the SEC. Arkansas, 2nd in the SEC at 490.9. They've dropped down. Passing offense, Mississippi State, 246.6 yards per game. Arkansas is 4th in the SEC, 285.9. Mississippi State rushing offense, 164.1, 9th in the SEC. Arkansas still 2nd, even though they dropped down, 205 yards per game. 2nd in the SEC, behind Missouri. Scoring defense, Mississippi State, 12th, 23.4 points per game. Arkansas dead last, 32.8. Which makes it, even harder to stomach, doesn't it? Because that was a game, as I said in the walk and talk, that you felt like you didn't need some special break to win the game because Auburn wasn't that good on defense. And Arkansas's defense did exactly what they needed to do in the game. You're in the fourth quarter and they have 16 points, and then 19 points. Those are all acceptable numbers. It's just you can't turn the ball over 4 times, and 3 times led to scores. Mississippi State total defense, 360.9. Arkansas dead last, 435.9. Worst defense in the conference. Any way you want to look at it. Pass defense, Mississippi State 8th, 208.4. Arkansas 14th, 242. Rushing defense, Mississippi State 152.5. That's 14th. Arkansas, you guessed it, dead last, 193.8. So that's it. More crap. Man, I have been in a mood ever since that game. I can't get over it. I'm just like bugged by the state of Arkansas football. Let's bring in Danny West, see what he's got to say about it. I got to tell you about our friends over at OzarksGo first, though. You can reach out to them at 479-684-4900. If you're looking for something reliable in your life, if your Razorbacks aren't doing it for you, at least know that your internet service can be reliable. You can also go to OzarksGo.net/Hawg, HAWG. I talk about the consistency with their internet service all the time. It just works. I never unplug my router. They're local, so when you call them at 479-684-4900, you will talk to somebody who knows the area. So when you ask them about, are you available north of the tunnel, they'll say, yes, we know exactly where that is. They're also in parts of Oklahoma and ever expanding. Go check them out, OzarksGo.net/Hawg, HAWG. What's up, Danny?
Hey, brother. How are you?
I don't know.
It's a dumb question. I know exactly how you are. I've been watching you.
I'm annoyed. Like,
you gotta get over it, big bro.
And I was over it. And then they sucked me back in a little bit. And, and it's fine because I asked for it. Like I tell people that, like, let them hurt you.
That's right.
Allow yourself to live the human experience. Don't go around numb all the time and let them hurt you. So anyway, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh man, that's about it. Covering more of the same in the recruiting world. There's not a heck of a lot for me to talk about, Biddy. So I've been chasing white-tailed deer as much as you guys will allow me. And
Well, you're going to be busy.
yeah. I'm trying to get it out of the way. I've got a couple in mind that I'm chasing currently, hoping maybe I can get those knocked out before before it hits the fan, so to speak, in December. I actually got a story about that.
Yeah, let's hear about it. Let's talk about the timeline a little bit because that stuff is going to matter when it comes up.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, what I wanted to do was just kind of give an outline of what to expect, right? When it does go down. I think we both agree at this point, Biddy, Bobby would probably have to win out, in order to stay in the running for this thing. So, it just felt like time to where let's talk about the timeline and what this thing might look like. So it's that first week in December that I want people to really pay attention to, because it's a dead period, Biddy. And that's kind of a new change. Of course, last year they also, or 2 years ago, I want to say a few years ago now, they've moved the early signing date to that first Wednesday in December. So a lot going on there, but you take away so much of the transfer portal aspect of it now, right? With the window moving to January. So it should lighten the load a little bit there. But that first week in December, if you're talking about a brand new coach, let's say, that last game is November 29th against Missouri. If you hypothetically, if you made an announcement on that Sunday morning or Monday, December 1st, Monday morning sounds like a pretty big news day in the college world. So I think you could see that. And then that first week would just be fully dedicated to, obviously you want to meet your team, do any, I guess it wouldn't be exit interviews if they can't immediately hit the portal, but you know what I mean? You got to identify your needs and see kind of what you're going to need a month later. But you also got to think about that 26 class, Biddy. There's a lot, they're down to 14 commitments right now. There's not much to talk about with that class, but that's not to say you couldn't maybe convince a guy or two, an in-state guy who carries maybe 4 stars to hold off until February, and maybe put you back in the running a little bit with some of these kids. So I wouldn't completely throw away that 26 class yet. I know it's impossible to get too excited about it. It's 72nd in the country right now, but I wouldn't give up on it just yet. I think there's a couple in-state guys that, we've seen Danny Bill flop back and forth a little bit. Oklahoma State, coaching change, now leaning towards Ole Miss. Maybe that's a guy that could give you a little bit of a pop, from a perception standpoint anyway.
I don't have too much concern with what this recruiting class does, really. I mean, to me, it's just like
nobody cares, really.
Worry about this, the transfer portal. This year one. Now, long term, I think it's important to build, through recruiting also. Yeah. But you can go out and get guys now that, in the transfer portal who are young. You don't have to just go get guys who are ready to play. Shaq McCroy is a prime example. Broussard, is it Broussard or Broussard?
I've heard Broussard.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's Broussard.
Yeah, exactly. He's a younger guy. You can go out and get younger players like that through the portal. I just think from a recruiting standpoint, it's going to be we're going to end up talking about this 26 recruiting class. Whoever, if there is a new coach hired and it's not Bobby Petrino, we're going to be talking about this class as there's only a couple of guys left from that 26 class. Remember that class? That was a transition year. That's just
that's how it's been anyway, though. Yeah, you think about the 23, 24 class right now. Mm-hmm. Where are they?
Well, we can go way back, Danny.
Way back.
And, who are the guys that made it all the way through? And one class after another, we're talking about 2-4 guys. Not a lot. And that's just the nature. Pittman got caught in kind of a bit of a cycle with having to win right away and couldn't afford to put any money into the recruiting classes. So I don't know. Who do you want to see hired as coach if it's not Bobby Petrino? Now, you said he's got to win out. I don't know that he has to win out, Danny, but he's got to beat Mississippi State. Who knows what LSU is going to do now? You know, are they going to tank? You know, Texas.
That also works against him too, though, doesn't it? I mean, if it's LSU and things are going great and he upsets them down there, then
takes a little bit of the shine off of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I get that too. But again, you know, when you're living in it, as I say that all the time, your attitude changes so much. How you feel about something. Like last week, we were thinking, Bobby's probably a really good, you know, and now it's just kind of like, well, who's gonna be, because it's not gonna be Bobby.
Yeah, I was thinking that after
it could come full circle again. It could come back with him.
Absolutely, it could. Yeah, I mean, if you hypothetically, let's say you go out and you do beat Mississippi State, finally get one, and next week, you know, the wheels fall off at LSU. It's
you got a bye week.
Got a bye week.
You got a week to stew on it.
And LSU does what next week? Who they playing? Alabama.
It used to always be Alabama, is it?
It's back to that again this year.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, let's say he gets 2 in a row there. Texas ain't just right. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how easily you can get back on the bandwagon. So if it were to set up with a kind of a winner take all scenario going into that final game, and he's won maybe 2, maybe you're right. Maybe I could see a scenario there where, you know, if you were to upset Missouri and to get your 5.
Why are we torturing ourselves here?
I know, man. That's the cycle, though. That's what you got to live in, and that's really, dude. It's got to play out too. I mean, he's got 4 games left.
They got to be better on offense. That was the most disappointing performance that they've had. I mean, Notre Dame was disappointing, but you kind of understood that. Like, it felt like they had kind of regrouped, and he'd had them. You know, I don't know.
That one felt like the most Arkansas one in a while. And we've seen a lot of Arkansas ones, but
that was a very Arkansas loss.
The fourth quarter was one that I threw my hands up. I was like, here we go. I know how this one ends. You know? It didn't bother me. And I know it's bothered you like a lot. This one didn't, for whatever reason. I think
this one got me for some reason. I don't know.
I could tell, but I think I've gotten so ready for the restart, and I'm trying to rest up for what I know is coming, inevitable. So maybe that's just where I'm at, and I'm just like, I know that was coming. So even though,
but I like it also. Like I invite it. I like the roller coaster of emotion. I know that I can swing up, you know, and it's a bigger swing for me if I'm pissed right now. So.
Stat for you, Biddy. I'm going to get out of here. Quincy Rhodes Jr., we talked about it all off season. How are they going to get a pass rush? I'm just looking at him here at number 2 in the SEC.
6 sacks, right?
7.
Did he get 2 yesterday?
Yeah, Saturday. He got,
Or Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, got in on 2. I want to say one of them maybe was half. Half, maybe.
I thought he was at 5, so he's at 7. It must have been 2.
Yeah, he's got 7 right now. I thought he was okay.
Let's see. I've got it right here. Sacks.
Yeah,
he had 2 full sacks. Yep.
Very quietly putting together a year, you know, for perspective. Landon Jackson, you know, he got drafted pretty good there, and he got 6.5 sacks last year. This guy's got 7 with 4 games left.
Yeah,
set himself up pretty nicely. I mean, it's a wash, but good for Quincy.
Yeah, it's good where, you know, it's good for Arkansas when in-state guys also do well if Arkansas would recruit inside the state. All right, Danny.
Okay,
appreciate you, buddy. All right, everybody, that's Danny West. Follow him at Danny West 24/7 on X, HawgSports recruiting analyst, and does so much more for us also. Okay. Walker Brothers. Guys, you need some new clothes. It's hard to find good clothes for men. I mean, like, you can go to like the mall or something, but like if you want like something that's like really well thought out, really well put together, Walker Brothers would be the place for you. It's where I shop. It's where a lot of my friends shop. Walker Brothers brings you the finest in men's clothing from around the world, carefully selected to last, fit right, and help you look your best. From game day essentials to distinguished luxury wear, from a meticulously fitted suit to the perfectly faded pair of jeans, every piece in their collection is hand-selected for enduring quality and iconic style. Experience the undeniable confidence that comes with perfecting your personal style. Visit them at 577 Millsap Road, Suite number 6 in Fayetteville, where they've been for as long as I can remember, or at their brand new location, 3503 South 55th Street, Suite 101 in Rogers. Again, like with Blakeman's, their new store, Walker Brothers' new store, you got to. I mean, the Fayetteville place is great. It's where I usually go, but the place in Rogers it's really something else. All right. Speaking of well dressed, Connor Goodson.
What's up, Trey?
How you doing, brother?
Can't complain. Ready to head over to Memphis here after we wrap up things, and I was listening to you tell Danny, the football game got you. Didn't expect to get that mad and upset. That really, really soured the weekend. And I said before in our game thread, like, nothing can kill the feeling from watching Arkansas's basketball team destroy Cincinnati the night before. But that football team did their best job that they could to really rain on everyone's parade, because that was just unacceptable. And it's just the same thing every week. It just gets old, and at some point you get tired of it. And I think that's where we're at.
Talon drives me crazy sometimes. I mean, he's such a good kid, first of all. He's got so much ability, and he makes some plays that just take your breath away. And then it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, what are you doing, buddy? Why would you throw that pass? Like, I don't know. And I don't expect him to be perfect. I certainly don't. But, man, he has not had a moment at Arkansas where he has just, like, willed them to victory in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, even the biggest win in Arkansas's last 3-4 seasons was Tennessee, and he got hurt, and he wasn't even in it for those. So, like, those key moments where you really need your leader and your quarterback to step up, Talon Green hasn't done that. And you kind of look back, and his career's probably, Arkansas career at least, is probably going to be filled with just a lot of missed opportunities. And that's just kind of been the theme with Arkansas football in general. It's just, man, so many missed opportunities, and at some point you get tired. And I think that we're at a point where this football program from top down just doesn't know how to win games. And I think that you just need to really just clean house and start over fresh and get people in there who understand how to win football games. And that goes from the team to the people behind the scenes. It just feels like everything top down is just not set up to win games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you can do all this great stuff for 3 quarters and stuff, but if you don't know how to win in the fourth quarter, and Petrino does know how to win, and part of me still holds out, some, I don't know if you want to call it hope, but just some idea that he can still win this job. Like, it's still possible, but it's also, I'm so discouraged just by what I saw out there against Auburn, like, especially after the way they played against Tennessee and the way they played against Texas A&M. If you had gotten that team, that version, I think they win walking away against Auburn, but we just got, I don't know. And they can't win it. Like, they can't win it home. It's going on a while now since they beat anybody notable at home. So maybe they'll have a chance.
We were talking about up there, and man, that saying, you kind of wish you knew you're in the good times when you're in them. And that halftime leading into the third quarter, man, that was good. We had our feet propped up. We were talking. We were just like, man, it's all going to be so simple. This is what they needed to do. They came out. They're finally doing it. And then it just all goes to crap. But what we were talking about, just some of the game day atmosphere, I think that has a lot. I mean, even that is not set up and conducive to win. Like, you're not setting your team and the crowd up to really, have an impact in the game. And it's just little things like that, the details. You've talked about it before on here too, just the details, the small things. In hindsight and in the big picture, no, it doesn't matter if the different shades of red are all the same or not, little things like that. That doesn't matter. But it does. It does. You see winning football programs, the little things, the atmospheres. I saw a video of just the Tennessee pregame, and it just blows anything Arkansas football, in any game in Razorback Stadium. It just blows it completely out of the water. And that feels like a must-see event. What we saw Saturday and what we've seen over these past few years, Arkansas football, the atmosphere is not a must-see event. The team is not putting on must-see football. It's it's all just losing. It's losing mentality, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating to sit through.
Yeah, I mean, we have to note the weather. It was an early game. That plays a role in it. I mean, they've had some pretty exciting environments from time to time, but I agree. Like going to all the other venues in the SEC, where they'll play in a few weeks in Death Valley and Tiger Stadium night. Well, it's in the morning at 11 o'clock, but when it's a night game there, they've got the best. They used to. They've modernized it now, but they used to have the best pregame video anywhere in college football. Nobody Saturday night in Death Valley, the video that they played, but now they've like chopped it up and modernized it and like added a bunch of like quick moving stuff, and it's not as good. But everybody, I don't know. Everybody's got their thing, but Arkansas
a Top Gun face filter in Eastbound and Down doesn't really inspire.
Yeah.
But I mean, you covered all that in your walk and talk. Don't want to rehash all that, but just little things like that. It's frustrating, man.
8 o'clock Central Daylight Time, October 27th. That's today. Arkansas basketball against Memphis. This is a game that we've really been anticipating. We were both at the Cincinnati game. What's not to like about what happened in that one? Although Cal was great, sometimes his post game, I'd cut up, parts of it, and he's like, taking bad shots is disrespectful for your teammates. I thought that was great when he's talking about the freshmen. Just because you got to step back, in your bag of tricks doesn't mean you should take the shot. But anyway, those guys will learn. They'll continue to get better and stuff. Just so much potential with this team. What do you see with this one? Have you looked at Memphis at all?
Yeah, I have. So Memphis, just their offseason has been really weird, and they don't have any really returning production at all. I don't think that they have a single point from last season returning to this roster. A lot of just high-level guys that maybe didn't really have great opportunities at their last stop. They brought in big man Aaron Bradshaw, is a guy that played for Cal his freshman season. I don't think that Arkansas was really in on him once Cal made the jump over here, but he's at Memphis. A lot of guys similar to that just haven't made the most of their opportunity elsewhere that are coming in, and probably the least talented team that Penny Hardaway has had. But I still think it's going to be a really good test for Arkansas. I think that you're going on the road, you're traveling. Obviously, I don't think that it's going to be like a hostile environment, kind of like you're going to see it when you go like to Michigan State or some of these other SEC venues. But it's good to get that experience of just traveling, sleeping in a hotel room, that itinerary when you're not used to the comforts you have back in Fayetteville. And I think it's going to be really big for the two freshmen that we kind of touched on, Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff. Does that performance from Friday night, does it carry over? Can they be consistent? I thought it was interesting. DJ Wagner, 3 shots, really just was deferring to Darius and Malik all game. Does that continue, or do you see him be a little bit more aggressive like Cal talked in the offseason? He also challenged Malik Ewan to really step up and be more aggressive and show him some more things. So I think that that's what you're really looking at, and I think that this team, like you said, that they can do something really, really special, and I think that they showed that on Friday night.
Yeah, I think they got a chance to be really, really good. Memphis last year, they had a good year last year, but didn't they lose early in the tournament?
Yeah, they lost to, I believe it was Colorado State, I want to say, in the NCAA tournament. And
they won like 29 games or something.
Yeah, it feels like that's kind of how it's gone under Penny Hardaway, where they like play really well regular season, they win the American Conference, and then they just don't really do anything notable in the postseason. Like, yeah, they lost first round to 12 seed Colorado State, 78-70. Bowing out after another one and done trip there. They were 29-6. So it was a really dominant season for them in the American Conference. And then you got a lot of momentum from that, even though you do bow out of the NCAA tournament, and then everyone kind of disappears and you don't bring anyone back from that team. So Penny's got a lot of an uphill climb for him. But I still think that, the Cal returning to to Memphis. Billy, it's a homecoming for Billy Richmond. You're going to see a lot of old Memphis players that Cal coached in attendance.
40 of them, apparently.
Yeah, 40 something guys. We saw some of the clips going around on social media of them at the practice yesterday, the shoot around. It's going to be a cool environment regardless. And Penny's really aggressive. And what I'm really looking forward to, he's really aggressive with this defense where he's going to press Arkansas, really get into the guards. He's not afraid to pick them up full court. He's not afraid to double, ball screen actions and stuff like that. And Arkansas's really, they're going to rely heavily on that. So it's going to be a really good test if these young guards can really handle that and handle that pressure that Penny's going to throw at them. So I think that there's going to be a lot of things that we could take away from this game, good or bad, and kind of carry into next Monday when the season opens.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the game tonight. You'll be in Memphis. I'll be at home. I'm going to watch it on the big screen.
Nice.
I've got that 100-inch upstairs, and there's nothing like I like watching football on it because I'll do the multi-view, and it's like having, 4 55-inch televisions, but watching basketball on it is just outstanding. But, he talked a little bit about, they've got 8 and Isaiah Sealy is 9.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're probably just, you just stick with 8, right? There's always a chance somebody gets dinged up or something, but does he have room for Sealy in this rotation, you think?
I think so. Now, Sealy, he played 13 minutes the other night, went 0-5 from the floor. The game's still a little sped up for him, but you saw some shades of him being able to do some of those things that just, he was in really good spots, getting deflections, things like that. I thought there was a couple of stretches where I thought he really closed out and sealed off his man to help Arkansas secure a rebound. He did that a couple of times that I thought was really impressive for a freshman. He's still going to figure things out. The game's a little too fast for him right now. He's not quite as caught up where Malik and Darius are. I do think that he's a guy that can help him. And like you said, the injuries are probably someone's going to get dinged up at some point. And I think that, you've got to find 10 to 15 minutes for him, especially early on, just to, make sure that he can get acclimated, because he's going to be relied upon once an injury does happen. And I think that, Cal has spoken really, really highly of him all off season. And I think that I really do see him being a part of this rotation to where, some nights maybe 5 minutes, some nights it's maybe 15, but I think he's got room to really be a part of this, to where it's not just 8 guys all the time. But you will see those 8 get the majority of the minutes. But I do think there's a spot for Sealy.
What do you think the future is for these the 3 foreign players? They're all technically freshmen, I guess. Like, if you had a crystal ball, like what do you see for their future?
Good question. I think that from everything that I've heard, it does look like that Semedo, the 7'1" kid, who wears number 99, which is really weird to see in the layup lines and stuff. But I think that he's a really good candidate to redshirt. I would probably say that Kareem Rattel's probably not going to play at all this year. He's been battling that back injury, and for a guy his size, you want to be on the safe side, and so they're going to give him.
Do you think that's the only thing that's keeping him out?
I don't believe
if he's healthy.
I don't think so. I think that he's still a ways away from being able to contribute, and I think that he's probably still in that mix with Zoffich and Semedo, to where maybe he gets some run in garbage time, but I don't think that he really would have had a legitimate shot to break the rotation like a Sealy was able to do. So I do think that there is maybe some plans for a guy like Zoffich, a guy like Semedo, even Rattel's, he very skilled guys. Zoffich, the dude is massive. He's just a big country comes to mind whenever you see him out there, just 7 footer.
285.
285. He's lost some weight since he got here. You can find some spot minutes for a guy like that, especially in SEC play with how physical it is. So I do think that there is a path for these guys playing. It's just probably going to be down the road, especially for Semedo and Rattel. I think you'll see Zoffich a little bit more, maybe garbage time, maybe, if there's some injuries in the front court. But those guys are probably longer-term projects still, I think.
How old were you when Big Country was at Oklahoma State?
I don't know. When was that? I don't remember. I remember
90s.
him. I remember him like late 90s, early 2000s with the Grizzlies, with the Grizzlies jerseys. I don't remember his Oklahoma State days, but yeah, that dude was one of the more iconic Grizzlies players. And his jersey, I know, is one of the favorites among, like, frats and the youth that weren't alive for him to play. But Arkansas has a baby big country in Jawfish, I feel like. So it'd be fun to see him get some more run.
Big foreign country. All right, buddy. Appreciate you hopping on.
Hopefully this basketball team can lift our spirits a little bit tonight, and we'll go from there, man.
All right. Sounds good, Connor. All right, everybody. Connor Goodson. Follow him at Connor Goodson on X and read his content at HawgSports.com. Football and basketball coverage. Does a great job. Okay, so here's the rough news for us. We did not do very well on our picks. We've had we've only had 2 losing weekends so far. We went 1-3 this week. That drops us to 25, 18-2 overall, and now down to 5-3 picking Arkansas games. So, Bet Saracen is where to bet in Arkansas. It's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. If you look at the link below, if you're on YouTube, there's a link that you can click. And if you click that link and you use the promo code BIDDY125, and you bet $25 on your first bet when you sign up, you get $125 back. So pretty sweet deal. So bet 25, get 125. So pretty sweet deal from Bet Saracen there, but you need to use the link and use the promo code BIDDY125, capital BIDDY 125. We're up overall. We're not in bad shape. We're 25, 18-2, as I mentioned. But last week we lost. We picked Ole Miss. We picked Oklahoma at -5.5. We lost that one. Ole Miss won 34-26. We had Alabama at -12. Alabama won by 7, 29-22. And we had Kentucky -9. Gosh, I'm all over the place. We had Tennessee -9 against Kentucky. And Tennessee won by 26, 56-34. And then we had Arkansas -1 against Auburn and lost that one, of course. So 1-3 last week. That one stung a little bit, took it on the chin. But we're going to bounce back next week, and we'll have the wager wagon on Thursday. I've just been all over the place. I've not been in a very good mood. I'm so frustrated by where Arkansas football is and where it has been for so long now. I mean, like, it's been a while. Like, the Bielema years were the glory years. I mean, and then going from him to Chad Morris and then, to Pittman, and Pittman had that one good year. It felt like everything was just against Pittman right when he got here. Like, you hired this guy who's a really strong recruiter. That's the whole idea that they're always going to have a good offensive line. And what happens? Well, you can't go out and recruit because COVID. So you can't recruit. He got lucky getting that class, getting to come back, the older guys with the COVID year. Some good players from that Chad Morris recruiting class in 2019. We're getting older. And then it's like, you know what? Recruiting doesn't really matter anymore because we're going to buy players. And by the way, the team that you coach for doesn't have any money. Didn't work out very well for Pittman. It's just been, I don't know. Like, we've gone since Bobby Petrino disappeared off the face of the earth for Arkansas in 2012, April 1st, 2012. We've dealt with John L. Smith. We've dealt with Bielema, who had a terrible first year, had an all right second year, good third year. No. All right. He had a good second year. 2015 was his second year, right? 2013. No, 24. Was it 2015? Was he here 5 years? I think so. Yeah. But the third year was the good year. But it could have been so much better. It should have been it could have been a 10-win team. The next year could have been a 9-win team. Then maybe he survives that 4-8 the next year. But then Chad Morris. And it just makes you feel like, are they going to I just feel like they're going to screw this whole thing up. I really do. I just don't have very much faith in it. But I'll be there for it, following along. There is some ideas out there that they are going to have the resources available to them. But, like, man, I just don't know that Arkansas football can afford to screw this up. And I feel like if you do screw it up, the next thing is like, okay, football, we're not even going to bother. We're not going to try anymore with football. We're just going to put all our eggs in basketball, try to be good in baseball, but I don't know, maybe do like Kentucky's done. Anyway, I'm sorry if my mood is bringing everybody down today, but I usually get over the hump, by Monday, and I'm still there. Okay, we got some questions. Should have some questions. Yeah, here we go. T.S. Smith 0628 asked the regular question of the week. Any truth to the rumors that Hunter Yurachek is on his way out? Also, what do you make of the Franklin smoke this week? I don't make anything of the Franklin smoke. I think he would be a good hire. I would take James Franklin right now. If somebody said James Franklin could be your coach, I would take him right now. I don't think it's a good move to fire your athletic director in the middle of a coaching search based on past experience. Maybe we could bring in Julie Cromer-Peoples and she could lead the search again. What do y'all think about that? Dino Nugs, could you discuss the rumors about Tom Walton potentially investing in the program? I think Keith Grayson started that one. Any truth to it? I don't put anything past Keith Grayson if he's behind it. He's got a way of wiggling his way through and figuring stuff out. Keith has done good in business. And he cares about Arkansas football. Also, any word on stadium sponsor naming rights? No, we're just going to let that. It's just a few $1 million. Doesn't matter that much. It's been 2 years. No stadium naming rights. Nope. No news for you there. But, having people with billions support this football program, and that's what you got to have. You have to have billionaires in this world helping your football team. I've made the point before that, like, having a good football program lifts all boats. I mean, it really does. I don't know. Makes people happier, does well for business, creates a nice cycle, gets you out of the cycle of suck, I guess. Makes the whole area more desirable. We've used the Alabama example many times. Since Nick Saban was there, the amount that real estate has gone up in Tuscaloosa, the number of national merit scholars that they have at their university. I mean, Tuscaloosa still kind of sucks as a town, aside from game days, but it's better than it was. Live Easy says, hey, Trey, loved your walk and talk on Saturday. What's your % chance of us hiring a coordinator from a top program? I think my candidates from that group would be Will Stein, Kane Womack, Colin Klein, Mike Bobo, and Pete Kwiatkowski. I personally wouldn't mind these options if we get outbid for the head coaches available. I mean, Stein is super young. Like, he'll probably be a head coach at some point. Probably Colin Klein as well. Mike Bobo, I don't know on that one. He's kind of been a head coach before at Colorado State, beat Arkansas. Kane Womack would intrigue me. He's also pretty young. He is the defensive coordinator at Alabama, had success at South Alabama. I mean, he's been a head coach, and he just left that position because defensive coordinator at Alabama is a more prestigious job than head coach at South Alabama. It just is. So, but he's from Arkansas. Went to Fayetteville High School, went to the University of Arkansas. So there's obvious connections there. But he'd be a guy that I would be intrigued with. I would be interested in exploring that as a possibility. Been a head coach, coordinator at Alabama, always viewed as a top up-and-coming coach by just about anybody around him. Seth Timo says, have you seen the soft-baked pretzels in the frozen section at Walmart? Think you get two for like $7? I'm not lying, guys. Those pretzels, the hot dog's not $13. And I actually think in that area of the stadium, you get, I think the hot dogs might be free. But I swear to God, y'all, I saw like 4 half-eaten hot dogs on the ground. And I could just see somebody just like, after one of those intersections, be like, we're done. I'm leaving. Didn't finish your hot dog. But the pretzels, I know they're $13 because I was at the basketball game the other day. And I go up to get a pretzel, and I was like, does that come with like any spicy mustard or something, or like, like some kind of, fancy mustard or something for my pretzel? And they're like, oh, we have the mustard packets over there, but you can get cheese. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I'll just get the cheese. So the cheese, well, whatever that is, cheese stuff, and the pretzel was $13.46 or something for a pretzel with some cheese sauce stuff in a cup. And I think it's also like the same for like, you get I'll have the nachos and they give you a bag of chips and a bag of, and a cheese cup. Like not even the pump of the hot cheese. Wes Taylor 25 says, all right, Biddy, I'm tired of the coach topics on the board. Let's talk about something more serious. What's your handicap and how far do you carry your driver and what putter are you playing with? So I got down to a 9 this year, which is the lowest I've been. I think it was a 9.5. I did get a new driver this year, and I can actually hit the driver really well. I'm probably my best part of my game. But I'm so up and down. I broke 80 4 times this year. That's on a par 70 course, by the way. So that's important to know. But there's a 76 in there. How far do I carry my driver? I don't know, but I can hit it pretty far. I still got a lot of juice in my driver. And the putter, I got fitted for a new putter this year and probably had my best putting year. I got a Odyssey white ice. I can't remember, but here's so I got fitted for it. He's got the device on it and everything. And actually the previous model worked better for me because, and I'm a blade, it's the blade putter. The previous model worked better for me because the line on the blade is on the top on the previous one, and on the newer one, it's on the back. And that for me made just enough of a difference. I also have a Scotty Cameron Newport 2 that I won this year for a closest to the hole in the match play tournament at Fayetteville Country Club. I was on the 7th hole, I won the closest to the hole and then won the putter. So I had a pretty good year overall. I did crap away the match play on the last hole. I lost the last hole because I went for it. I was like, I'm gonna go win this hole, and I hit a tree. I ended up triple bogeying. The guy that beat me double bogeyed. He double bogeyed and beat me because I tripled. The first triple I'd had in probably a while. But still a little bit more time for golf, which is nice. But yeah, I did have a really good year for golf. Probably my best year was this year. J-Hubs, Trey, do you think the changes to the portal and recruiting calendar could change when sitting head coaches might take another job? What do you think the changes to the portal and recruiting calendar could change? The changes could change? What do you mean? Could change when sitting head coaches might take another job? I mean, it's pretty much, I think I understand what you're saying. It's pretty much falls in line with when a coach would be hired. I mean, games end like at the very end of November. And then you see, teams start hiring coaches then. Like coaches generally don't go like through bowl season and stuff. It's usually right then you start seeing coaches get hired. Hogtalica says Bobby Petrino is my pick. Hogtalica, you got mad at me. You said I lost faith in Petrino. I mean, I didn't lose faith in Petrino. I just lost faith in the idea that he's going to be the next hire based on losing to Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Auburn because he needs a moment. Like, I don't have doubt that Bobby Petrino could still field a good team and make Arkansas competitive. I don't have that doubt. It's just what he needs to do to be the coach at Arkansas. And that's, beat Auburn, beat Mississippi State, and beat somebody else, like, notable. And there were so many opportunities. Like, we're 0-3 now with Bobby Petrino, like, right? So Mississippi State's a must-win for him, and he's behind the 8 ball now. This season is a wash, and he's been set up to fail as the interim under this scenario. He needs an offseason to build a team and culture. He's a coach, not a wizard. It's all fair points. I'm just saying what the support level looks like behind Bobby Petrino. You know, like it or not, call it fair or not, he needs to beat Mississippi State. He needs a couple of more wins, at least. Chad Razorback says, would you sacrifice ever being good in basketball and baseball to always be good in football? Good meaning average 8-9 wins and compete for SEC title, playoff 2 or 3 times a decade. I wouldn't sacrifice basketball, no. I would sacrifice baseball. That's just me. I mean, I don't like that question because I don't want to sacrifice baseball either. But to be good in football, to me, is different. It's like you can be good in baseball and nobody around the country will know. But if you're good in football, then everybody knows. You know, everybody knows you're good in football. Average 8 or 9 wins. I think I need that to be 9 or 10 wins before I start sacrificing baseball. And compete for an SEC title or playoff 2 or 3 times a decade. Let's go 3 times a decade. 3 times a decade, 9 or 10 wins average. Sorry, Dave. Hogtalica, why does it seem like no matter how thin a position group gets, there's always somebody that doesn't play, like Blackstock this year or Joe Moore in the bowl game? Moore wasn't that good. I mean, he's good. I don't like to say that, but I mean, he just wasn't as good as the other guys, the other options that they had. Why is Philip Lee not playing at all? He didn't play a snap in the last game. And it was a guy that was like, okay, Philip Lee, he can play, he can help us. And they don't even use him anymore. And they're thin on the defensive line. Does feel like they'll get Cam Ball back this week, though. Burgess Maximus says, Trey, when do you think we'll have an announcement on the new hire? I would think ideally within 2 weeks of the season ending. I mean, if it gets pushed back, then I would think things probably aren't going that good. If we hire someone who isn't actively coaching, Franklin, Gruden, do they announce the hire before the end of the season to get some early momentum in recruiting and potential transfers? I don't think that they would announce the hire before the season ended. They may, if it was one of those guys, they may do it a couple days after, 2 days after. I could see that. If it's one of those guys, somebody that's not a sitting head coach right now. Wes Taylor, or a sitting coach, period. Wes Taylor, 25, says, on a serious note, B-Man, will you explain to all the people that keep saying so-and-so doesn't want the job that no sitting head coach will ever advocate they want the job in the middle of the season? Nick Saban got up on a podium on a stage when he was at Miami saying he has no interest whatsoever in the Alabama job and ends up taking the Alabama job. I'm sure that he had interest in that moment in the Alabama job. The best answer I've ever seen was Mike Gundy when he said, I would never talk about another job. I would never talk about, not that I have no interest. That was his line. I would never talk about another job. Just like I would never talk about it. Just not something that's on the table for discussion. Safety, who called in? You called in or text, right? I think you called in. I'm also the poster who did the correlation between SEC running backs and I'm not sure what that is. James Franklin, the next coach, says Hog fan for life 70 ? I would take him right now. Hog fan 44, T Blizzy, can we get a rumor mill posted here shortly? The people are itchy, even if that were pro Bobby searching for using. Yeah, we do post rumor mill stuff on the board. Like we're going to make sure it's identified as rumor mill, but we're supposed to have fun with this. It's supposed to be entertaining. I get annoyed when people act like it's not supposed to be entertainment, because it is. Like, if it's not, what are we doing? It's supposed to be serious. Sure, we take it very serious. We take our entertainment seriously. Willie B. Hardigan says, my 5-year-old son heard you say that we suck ass in the walk and talk and started bawling crying. I'm sorry, Willie. I think you can say ass on air. I think that's fine. My daughter said to me, I talked to her on the phone. I was like, yeah, they lost. And, they threw 3 interceptions. They had a fumble in the fourth quarter. And she goes, Dad, we're just not very good at football. It's like, yeah, you're right, honey. We're just not very good at football. All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining me. Be sure to use that promo code when you go to Bet Saracen and bet $25 on your first bet to get $125 back in bonuses. Biddy125, capital B, Biddy 125. Use the link below on YouTube and check out our friends at Crane Automotive. Check out our friends at Walker Brothers, Blakeman's, OzarksGo. Support those that support us. We certainly appreciate you. Sign up at HawgSports for 75% off using the promo code HawgSearch75, HAWG Search 75, and follow along with everything going on with this coaching search. We got basketball coming up as well if you had enough of the football for now. All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining me. Thanks to Connor. Thanks to Danny for hopping on. It's been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. We'll catch you next time.